I got it. Like it.
No, we got to get on in this review. We got to review.
Let's get on a review. Let's
we're talking about
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's review Apartment 7A, and we are actually going to also be comparing it to Rosemary's Baby, which it is a prequel to that.
Prequel, yeah.
Prequel, sidequel, sort of. So we're going to be reviewing the movie and then kind of comparing the two for Halloween. That's why everybody left, is because they're the whitest horror movies there that exist, and it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. I'm sorry, Paul. Paul watches everything though. Paul watches everything, and he likes white things. Okay.
Paul's over here like.
I was raised by white folk. I guess it makes sense. It's all good.
Folk.
Paul, see, here's the thing. If this was my cousin Vinny and Paul was in it, Paul's like the guy he shows the pictures of the screen to. Paul's that guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the cop in the Chappelle skit that's dancing to Guns N' Roses.
You're not wrong.
Is that really Paul? Is it like that?
That would be. Yeah.
Oh my god.
From the suburbs, we can't help it.
I can't lie. Right. There was no dead end at the end of my street. I had the cul-de-sac. You know what I mean? Like it just went roundabout. You just kept going.
Oh,
Troy do Cohen so hard on that. Oh my gosh.
I love that so much. All right, let's talk about Apartment 7A and get it over with. So this movie is, if you watch Rosemary's Baby, there's a character on it called Terry Gianna Ferraro or whatever her name is. And she dies in that, and she was kind of friendly with Rosemary in the movie. And so this tells her story, how she was a dancer who got injured, and it affected her career, and then she moved in, and she was the unwilling victim for the Antichrist first, as told in Apartment 7A, and then we kind of see what happens to her if you watch Rosemary's Baby or the end of this movie. I will tell you, this is a movie. Before we go around, I usually just say right off the bat, it's very pretty. It's shot really well. Nowhere near as good as Rosemary's Baby. Nowhere near. But by today's standards, for the type of movies that come out, it's not bad. It looks nice. They do the set. Yeah, it's very low. But this year is very low. Like the top contender is like Late Night with the Devil. You know,
which is a great movie.
It is a great movie, yes. But name more that are on that level from this year.
On the same level?
Yeah.
In a Violent Nature. What do you mean?
In a Violent Nature is nowhere near that level.
It's close-ish.
Does Romulus count, Mick? Does Romulus count?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Romulus was good, but I wouldn't put. I thought Late Night was better.
If they didn't do that dumb part at the end, I would have been.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But with Apartment 7A, like this is a trend that I'm seeing happen with streaming services, finding IPs that they kind of want to revisit and tack things onto. Like the First Omen came out this year too. Oh, it's awful. And it's awful for the same reasons that this was awful. You're trying to rehash something that was a masterpiece, a true masterpiece, not a smash master.
Masterpiece. Oh my God.
A masterpiece.
Yes.
Yes. This is why I've been trying to get you
that masterpiece done.
Masterpiece. I love it. It's so fantastic. But this is a real masterpiece. You know, Polanski, what he did with that movie, and rewatching it, especially with fresh eyes in my 40s, seeing, you know, having had a film career and learning these things, like seeing stuff for the first time, really, and like how well he told that story even visually. This movie doesn't do any of that. This movie just rehashes a lot of BS. And the tropes from the original. Yeah, it's just not good. I'm sorry to, it's not articulate, but it's just not good. What do you guys think about it? Let's go around the horn. Paul, let's start with you, bud.
Oh man. Okay, so this made me feel kind of like how the Omen prequel made me feel. They just should have called it a fucking reboot, because almost all the main shots were just redone. Yeah. Just different names. They said it was this is a prequel. No, the fuck it wasn't. You just watched the first one, and then you were like, I'm just going to change 3 or 4 things to it and call it a prequel, so people watch it that loved Rosemary's Baby, and they tricked us, and they got probably over half their views were people hoping it was an actual prequel that got disappointed. I watched it once, and I was very disappointed. It's very rare for me to tell people, I wouldn't suggest watching it, but I tell them, unless you want to waste your time, I guess watch this. I'd rather watch Rosemary's Baby again and actually have a great film and a great story than to watch that. So did not enjoy this movie at all.
And before we get to you guys, because I didn't make ratings for you guys, Paul and I, for this episode, we both gave it a 2. Again, the visuals weren't bad. Like, it was shot well. It's just not, it's not experimental like Polanski did in his version. And he was a genius too. I mean, he's a fucking asshole. Don't get me wrong. I'm not praising the man, but he was a genius filmmaker. And it's hard to deny that when you watch his movies. This just hit none of that, but it seemed like a cool concept. That's the thing, that these things are cool concepts that these streaming services are fucking up. Let's just milk as much of the IPs as I'm not getting into another rant. I can't.
Yeah, it's a whole nother.
Shake, what you got for me, man?
This is let's start with 7A before this goes sideways.
Yeah.
It breaks no new ground. It's a pre-boot, whatever you want to call it. It's atmospheric, but it's trying to stand on the shoulders of a movie that's considered legendary. However, I think that Rosemary's Baby is not great. I don't think Roman Polanski is a very good director.
Somebody said it before me. Yes.
I'm so sorry. There's another Mick. Don't.
There's no such thing as hot takes with Dan. It's smash takes.
Don't mix me. So my problem is this: it's standing on the shoulders of something that's not very tall in the first place, and so I give it 1 star. How do you
watch Chinatown and think like he's a terrible film?
I'm sorry. So okay, it's all style and substance. All style and substance. There's no meat and potatoes in anything he does. He thinks he's really, really, really brilliant, but he falls short of anything that a true auteur does. He doesn't actually challenge anything new. Rosemary's Baby is about as challenging as a bowl of cold soup. I'm sorry. It's like it's just
for 1968. He challenged.
It's post psycho. He didn't do anything new. It's post psycho. Sorry. Nope. I didn't like. He was like, I'm just as good as everybody that came before me. Wrong. No. He didn't like. I'm sorry. He's all style, no substance, no plot, no structure, and if you're standing on that, sorry, 7A, you don't get to stand very tall because you don't challenge anything new either. You don't break any new ground. Like the Rosemary's Baby, I've watched it 6-7 times. I remember being in high school and being so pumped to watch it and falling asleep. And I remember revisiting college, being so pumped to watch it for my film class and falling asleep. My wife really wanted to watch it. And I was like, oh no. And I fell asleep again because it's boring.
I'm right there with you.
I'm so sorry, Mick. Don't Mick me. These are classic movies. I know, but I don't care because just because it's old doesn't mean it's great.
That's not why there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of movies that are old that I don't think are masterpieces. And there are Roman Polanski movies that I don't think are masterpieces.
You want to know my problem? You know what his actual masterpiece one is?
What?
It's the one where the woman's at. What's the woman? The woman's in the apartment and never leaves it.
The
Hysteria. Is that what it's called? Hysteria?
No, that's not him. Is it?
I thought it was Polanski. If it's not Polanski, that's it. So that's my problem. It's not. So people were doing Polanski before him, dude. You're not special, and the only thing you did was diddle little boys. Congratulations.
No, it was a young lady.
Little girls then.
Little girl.
That's it. I don't think you're controversial, dude.
Well, that is.
I'm saying his movies aren't. I don't think his movies are controversial. I watched that and I'm like, listen, the Satanic Panic had been going on for like a while at that point. People were terrified of this stuff. It's the dawn of the new age. And like, dude, come on. You're not special and you're not smart. You think you're brilliant and you're just not. I'm sorry.
Don't get him started on Tarantino.
That's the other. Nope. I'm sorry. I love Tarantino movies, but he thinks he's brilliant. And the problem is none of these guys, all these guys really want to be Kubrick. They really want to be Kubrick really bad. And you're just not.
I think no. I don't think Spielberg ever tried to be Kubrick until he did AI, and then he realized, no, I'm not.
Like Spielberg, and like one of my favorite Spielberg movies. We've talked about this before. It's the Chase movie, and nobody knows about it.
Which
like,
Chase movie?
Oh,
Duel. Yeah.
Like nobody like. They want to celebrate his like Hollywood hits, and honestly, like his Loki stuff is way better.
That's why you like the last part of Jaws, because it's Duel. God damn it! Let's move on to the video store clerks.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm sorry if I stole any thunder. I'm sorry if
I didn't steal thunder. I love that. It's a review.
My problem is just that Roman Polanski has never really grinded my gears, and I think that he's a fart. And I
need to watch Chinatown. You need to watch Chinatown.
I have. I don't think
you need to watch it again. You need to watch it again and then like it. Go for it. David Jack, please let us know what you think of these movies.
Well, I was like, okay, we're all friends here and this is a safe place, but should I be the one to say I don't like this movie? And luckily, Hollywood Hogan got it for me. I haven't seen Rosemary. Like the last time I saw Rosemary's Baby, like it's been a good 30 years. So I was like, okay, it's been a minute. I'll probably have a different, I was 11, 12 or whatever the last time I saw it. Still, and don't give me that crap like the kids say it's a slow burn. A slow burn is just a nice way of saying it's boring. I just like, if you like this movie, cool. I'm not, that's cool, but it just never connected. It just never did. That's all. Apartment 7A, I agree with everything. Paul, I felt the exact same way. This is bullshit. You guys were just trying to remake it, and you changed a couple things here and there in the script and called it a prequel. Bullshit. But the sad thing with Apartment 7A is the performances are really good. Technically, it's really done, but safe and unnecessary.
Yeah,
I think
you know what? I put it on the same level as like that Pope's Exorcism or the other one that he did. It's just
same year.
Safe. Like they play it so safe that it's like just so boring. It's like you don't really do much.
Yeah,
and
like
it's just not effective horror.
Diane Wiest was great. I enjoyed her.
She was awesome.
Yeah, it's always cool to see her, and she
nailed the mini part. I thought.
Yeah. It wasn't too goofy, but it was right what it needed to be, I think. And the young lady that had the lead, I forget the actor. I'm sorry,
Julia Garner. And here's the thing about Julia Garner: she's in a ton of shit. And I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. She's in a ton of stuff I really like, and I like her performances. But I can't tell if she's a good actor or she's like a weird actor and just decides to do weird shit, and she effectively pulls it off. Like it works for those roles. Like I cannot figure it out. I'm choosing to believe she's a good actor. I saw her in a commercial once. Works. So
I bought the shoes. That's all.
But like I love all of her performances though.
But like,
I liked her in this. I thought she did a great job. And
yeah, me too.
I watched Rosemary's Baby again afterwards for the first time in 25 years, and I was like, oh, their Terry sucks. Her Terry was good.
Yeah, but like the bottom line with this movie is if you've seen Rosemary's Baby and then you go and watch this, you know what's going to happen. You know where the direction everything's going. So what was the point?
Nope, no point.
So unnecessary would be. And was this even in demand? Was a remake, a sequel, a prequel of Rosemary's Baby ever in demand by anyone ever?
Nope. I'm telling you, it's the streaming services are doing this to like keep their IPs alive or whatever. I don't know why.
And it's just such a
pain because it's like there's such an overabundance of them now. Like every time they want to push a new IP at a certain time of year, it's like there's a fucking prequel or some shit about it, or a sequel, or some weird sidequel.
Or they just acquire the rights and then immediately push it. Like
no.
And it's just, I guess they didn't want to piss off fans of Rosemary's Baby, but if you're not gonna break any kind of new ground, or you're not gonna add any kind of twist or anything, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, for me, it was weird because I haven't watched, like Dave said, like we were talking about the other day. I was like, I haven't watched Rosemary's Baby since I was probably like in my late teens, and I'm 43. I'm like, what the fuck? So then like I watched 7A first, and I was like, all right, let's see what happens here. And then I turned on Rosemary's Baby, and it kind of picks off where it ends. And then I watched the whole movie, and I was like, because at first I didn't mind 7A because I totally forgot about Rosemary's Baby. And then I watched Rosemary's Baby, and I was like, this is the same fucking movie I just watched. I feel like, with an extra character.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and they're both boring. So I was like,
thank you. It's like, I'm like, is it me? Is it my attention span? Am I just in a mood while I'm watching this?
I was like, I think I would have rather spent those 3.5 hours watching Godfather 3.
Honestly, yeah, that's a great point. Like this, it was just a truly boring film, and like I don't know why Paul was like, you gotta watch this so we're going to
Get the fuck out of here.
He's favorite movie ever.
Paul's like,
Yeah.
she should get an Oscar for her performance.
Yeah.
As a gangster.
Should have been in theater, I swear to
Violent
God.
Nature was one of the best movies made this year. So anytime he has advice, just think of that.
well,
Love you, Paul.
As we kind of wind down, let's go with the mixed movie pick for the week. That's right, everybody. We're doing mixed movie pick. And it is from 1968. And if you haven't guessed it, it's Rosemary's Baby. Now, Dan and Dave and Chad may tell you otherwise, but I say go check out my Snobs Film History classic film review of Rosemary's Baby. Comes out on Halloween. Check it out. I would love for you to go see that. We also did a Discovering Horror. There's a lot of history behind it. We get into it and talk about it. So go back and check those out. Let us know what you think. Dan.
I'm sorry. The biggest thing is just that, like, I post Psycho. It
Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. And I've seen places that had Rosemary's Baby second to The Exorcist. That's the scariest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Well,
I mean, if you like it, that's cool. I mean, I'm not like, I wouldn't trash somebody that did like it.
It's kind
it's
of
just
like
like
Salem's Lot's the same way though. Like it's a good movie, but it's still boring. And it's 3 hours long.
I love that. So I think a lot of times, and I don't know if it's like and I'm not putting it down by any means, but like I'm not just a horror guy. And I think, and I don't think anybody here is just a horror guy by any means. And I'm not saying that. But I would say, talking to you guys, getting to know you, that the horror genre is the most probably fixated on, right? Between all of us. And I think like being a horror fan and then like seeing movies like this that honestly are on the fringe of horror. For sure. They're right there. And I think it is a horror film.
Fringe.
Yeah, I think it is a horror film, but I definitely get why horror fans, like hardened horror fans, may not like it. And there's other ones like it. Like I do understand why some horror fans don't like The Shining. I don't agree.
Because they're wrong.
As a film fan,
Right.
As a film fan, I think they're completely wrong. As a horror fan, when I was a kid, when I was young, I thought The Shining was boring as fuck. As I've gotten older and older watching it, it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen because I realize what it is. When I'm a kid, you don't really like you. I associate with
the dad. It probably changes fundamentally for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like I take on abuse, so it was a whole different scary for me.
Yeah.
That I recognize. But as I grew older, I'm like that fear of turning into it, like losing your faculties and turning. So like that was so much more psychologically crazy. So like yes, The Shining goes down as one of the best, and it's not fringe, but because it's Kubrick, it sort of is. It's weird.
It's weird.
But that's why I say it's so different, experimental, and beautiful, and that's what I love about stuff like this. Definitely not even like Polanski's most horror. Like he's done more in-depth horror films in the genre. So
yeah, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I would never call it a bad movie. I'm just saying that me personally, it just didn't connect. I don't know if it was a product of its time. Did it play on certain fears that were going on in the 60s? I don't know. I don't know the history of the film, but that's just me.
No. Listen, I hate your opinion because I want people to watch my content. No.
Watch it. Decide for yourself.
I definitely get it.
Everybody's different.
I would say if you're a filmmaking fan, and like it does have some great technical work in
sure.
So check it out for that reason. But yeah, if you don't like slow burn horror movies, a good gauge is The Innkeepers.
Innkeepers? That's a weird pick.
Because it is a very slow burn movie on purpose, but I think it's beautifully done. I think Ty West did an amazing job.
Okay.
But I'm a slow burn guy. So that type of tempo of the story.
I like slow burns, but not in music or in movies. I just like gotta
you know what I would think the better version of Rosemary's Baby is, and this is gonna be such a weird I'm telling you now, this is gonna be a really embarrassing. That Rob Zombie witch movie.
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem.
I think that's a better version of Rosemary's Baby.
Okay. I did
the other movie that his wife is in.
Yeah. Like I didn't like I've always share, and it's the one that she actually, in my opinion, because like she in Halloween, even though I love his remakes, in Halloween she's so bad. But I actually really like her in Salem. Like I actually like that. And
she annoys me.
Is it
I can see
the
that.
pitch on her voice? Is that what it is?
I don't know,
It
just
could
something.
be.
I think it's the whole thing.
Face in the voice. It's just her.
You got a face for radio.
Oh God, the poor Sherry. We love you, Sherry.
She's
no,
a nice lady though.
I'm sure she's super nice. I wish he would choose better actresses.
Listen, hey, nepotism's a hell of a thing, I guess. I don't know.
No, for sure.
But I want to thank you guys for coming on. I know the Video Store Clerks podcast is coming up at 10 p.m. You're going to want to go check it out. They're doing their Halloween episode. It's going to be so awesome. They always have a great time over there. It's an awesome vibe. If you're not following them, you better be. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining in tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and joining in and getting in like costume and everything. Thank you.
I'm glad we had a chance to actually come over since our schedules kind of worked out this time.
Yes, and
It's been a while.
now that we won't be as much live, we'll be able to get you guys on more. So that'll be a lot more fun.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to let you guys go. And then we're going to close out the show. Bye.